Welcome to Dragonball Speak, a show where we summarize and review every episode of Dragon Ball Z, 3 episodes at a time, and we review them each on a scale of 1 to 7 stars. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, and we upload every Monday. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
And I'm Wesley.
And this is Dragon Ball Speak, episode 14. All right, so holy hell, dude, this was
pretty bad. I wasn't
Like,
sure if I was in a bad mood because my stomach's been hurting all day, or if these sucked. But I was miserable.
Dude, this was bad. It was.
I was
bad.
like, I would rather be doing anything else. This
Yeah.
is just not fun.
I'll admit, during episode 42, I fell asleep for probably 5 seconds.
42, yeah, 42 is
Or 41 was it? Oh no, it's 42.
41
Yeah.
was my least favorite. 42 had maybe 2 minutes of saving grace total across
Maybe.
the episode that I was like, okay, this is cool.
Okay,
But
so
good God,
I'll preface it with this: everything was filler except for one thing. Do you know what?
the Frieza stuff.
Actually, anything with Vegeta was not actually filler.
Oh, that makes sense, I guess.
That was it. So one scene,
Well, yeah,
but the same scene 3 times basically.
cool. Is the Frieza stuff they introduced stuff I should pay attention to, or is it BS like the truffles?
It's not BS like that, but it's something that you don't pay attention to.
Okay.
It's just stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not completely wrong
Yeah,
like the last thing, but it's just whatever.
I didn't expect to hear that name this.
Yeah.
early
So do
in
you
the
recognize
show.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because I've seen Resurrection F.
Oh, duh. Right. I forgot about that.
Frieza's like the purple dude, but
How
he looks
do you
way
remember
different.
a lot from that?
No, I know he goes gold. Like he
Okay.
gets gold, and I know that there's like a dude that eats ice cream a lot. And that was really all I remember. There's a dude that looks like a nerd. He's dressed up like a nerd. He's the son of somebody. I don't know who, but he looks really nerdy. And that's really it. There's a fight. They fight.
It's true. There's. It's like considered the worst Dragon Ball Super movie.
Oh, good.
By
I'm
a
glad that's the one I saw in theaters with fans.
Oh, by a landslide too. All right. So held captive. All right. Let's just get right through this. Let's just get through this honestly as fast as possible.
Yeah, Jesus.
So yeah, the episode starts off Bulma, Krillin. So they're trying to give Krillin and them their own little mini arc, I guess.
It's bad.
But it's bad.
The kids next door attack, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, so they're stuck on this ship. They got the guns pointed at them. They're all kids.
I love the like Dragon Ball Z filler. They're like, okay, here's a novel idea.
Kids.
Kids without parents.
No parents.
Let's just do that every time.
Robot. It dies.
Yeah.
Oh god, and yeah, we get this bad moment where Krillin says, "Let's power up."
Yeah.
And then they go, "Huh?" And then it's like, "No, Dragon Ball Z, not like this.
Yeah.
You got to earn that." You
it
don't
was
get...
like the that vine of the kid.
Yeah,
It was
man.
so bad.
Yeah, and he said, "You guys are allies with Frieza," which is a name we are hearing for the first time. That's the first time we've heard that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, maybe this episode's going to go somewhere. It didn't.
No, it did not. And then they're like, "All right, we're gonna shoot you," and then they get distracted, and they're like, "All right, you guys, shoot them if they do anything funny." And it's like, why wouldn't you just
Do that?
still shoot
Yeah.
them? Like you were about to shoot them.
No, there's so much cringy like VO and all this. And
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
the
yeah, it's
main
so bad.
the main kids next door, number 4 or whatever, is just so terrible.
Yeah.
Like his voice acting, he was like,
Also, they just look like human kids.
they look all like little mini Yamchas. Like
Yeah,
the main
kinda.
dudes, I was like, okay, they definitely were just like, let's just slide this
With
Yamcha
green eyes.
unused art in.
Right. And we get a cool. Well, no, I don't know why I said cool. It's not cool, but we do get a scene where Goku's scared in the hospital. He's scared of needles.
Yeah, I wrote that down because I was like, okay, he's scared
It's,
of.
I guess, kind of funny, and it's kind of funny, especially because he's compared with Superman so much,
Yeah.
and Superman like the needle bends or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Which movie is that? A movie
Probably.
or a comic?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, me either. But yeah, Christopher Reeves. The needle won't go in him. I'm just kidding. I
He's
don't know
like
if it's
really
Christopher
scared of
Reeves.
needles. Goku's like
Yeah,
terrified of needles.
and we get Chi Chi being a bad wife,
Yeah.
and all helping. What does all helping mean? Oh yeah, we get the meteor shower. Okay, and the kids are hurt. Like
And they gotta like
So
extinguish
Krillin and
fires.
Gohan, they're putting out a fire with a fire hose, and
It doesn't even.
they save the kids from getting crushed. And then the kids explain that Frieza killed their parents
And destroyed their planet, I guess. And then Frieza looks weird. I was like, that's Frieza supposedly, but that does not look like Frieza from what I've seen, which is mostly Resurrection F. He was in. I wrote down that it's weird he's in Saiyan armor because I use usually like naked, I think, and it didn't look like him at all. His lips were really succulent. Like he had some thick lips, and I was like,
DSL.
damn, DSLs, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There was actually a couple cool shots in this episode. Like when Bulma's clacking on the keyboard and it shifts focus. I thought that was cool.
Bulma typing with focus shift.
Yeah, like there's some like very small moments that
when
are
they're like
actually
dodging the meteor or trying to dodge the meteors. It was cool, but yeah, I was like, man, this episode. And they kept showing like the fuzzy ball sack of a ship. It was
I don't know what it's supposed to be. It looks like a damn, bro. Right to that time. No, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Sorry for our dogs barking.
Yeah.
It looks like a little tuber or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
it's
a
got
root, like a potato.
Yeah, it has like hairs or something hanging off, and like
it's definitely supposed to look like something.
an interstellar ball sack.
Oh yeah, so we cut to Vegeta. Oh yeah, and they say when they're leaving, Bulma and them, they're like, yeah, so you can. There's a shortcut to Namek. They're in space.
Yeah.
What's the shortcut? A wormhole?
It's interstellar, dude. I mean, Christopher Nolan totally yanked his story from this episode. Of
Yeah,
Dragon Ball
he
Z.
actually said in that interview, he said episode 40 of Dragon Ball Z is my inspiration.
One of his favorites too. He said, yeah.
Held captive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get Vegeta in the Star Wars back to tank. He lands on that planet.
I wrote Darth Vader or Vegeta's Darth Vader confirmed because that's what it reminded me of.
Not when Luke was in the tank.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Okay.
I was mostly I just rewatched Rogue One where he's like,
oh, okay,
you get to see Vader without his mask
in the tank.
on, and it's like,
yeah. I'm sure that's inspired by Star Wars.
Yeah,
I mean, unless that was a thing in science fiction before then, but I don't really know. And then we get to a infamous little filler arc after this.
Was this episode 41?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I won't tell you what the filler arc would be referred to as because it's a spoiler.
Oh.
But
find the balls.
Episode 41 is called "Look Out Below." Yeah. So I guess they land on Namek.
I basically just wrote down my problems with this episode.
I can't. I am very excited to hear your problems. Oh, I just gotta go to the next episode. I didn't even read this. I didn't even read it.
That bad. Yeah.
I know.
I hate this episode.
I know. All right, this one's called "Look Out Below."
Give me that Japanese.
Kind-hearted aliens. There's the 5-star ball already.
Okay.
6th episode of the Namek saga and 41st overall. All right, and there's no chapter counterpart. The last chapter counterpart, because there was some canon, which was the Vegeta thing, is called "The Return of Vegeta." But yeah, no manga counterpart for this because it's pure filler, 100%.
You can tell.
Raiti
It feels
and
like
Zakro.
it feels like they were like, "Hey, Cartoon Network, why don't you guys make an episode for us?
Why don't you guys make an episode? But I want you to make it the shittiest, most Dr. Seuss looking, poorly animated episode of all time.
It's so basic cartoon. I was like, man, this is like
bad.
a 3-year-old.
It's like
show.
a
like,
bad,
this is for 3-year-olds.
bad episode.
Yeah.
Bad, awful. Oh my god.
So they basically get there and they're like, well, before they even get there, they're like trying to like set up the mystery of like, is it Namek? Like, oh no, like, is that the right planet? It's like, I guess we'll find out.
Right.
And then they just don't really address that mystery. They just get there and they're like, it's Namek. And Bulma's like, check it out. My little dragon radar says so. And they're like, okay.
Which it didn't.
Yeah. And then they fall over.
Yeah.
Their ship
Oh no.
falls
And
over.
what about the dragon radar tells you what planet you're on?
I was like,
what?
Since when?
What?
Like, I mean, technically we've never been off Earth, so maybe it's something we don't know about. But
so
I was
then
like,
why? Like, that's
bad.
the first of many. Like, what the hell moments?
Yeah. And so they fall off, and then they transition. They're just inside of some Namek doctor's like house pods.
Sure.
Getting healed, and then these creepy, weird dudes.
Oh my god!
Automatically, I was like, "Oh, these guys are suspicious," and it turns out they're just weird. Like,
it's weird.
I was like,
It's
"Oh, maybe they're secretly trying to get something," and it's like, no,
if they're
just
trying
weird.
to make them suspicious, they're doing an awful job
it's so
because they're
strange.
just strange.
And you like meet the doctor, and then
and
the
he
other
says
guy's
they were
like,
near death.
"Yeah," and he's like,
What?
"This is the worst doctor on Namek." And then you're like,
It's
okay.
like,
And then he's like, no, I'm not. And they're like, okay. And
I know.
I'm like, what? Ugh. So bad.
Yeah, and he drags that cigar.
Yeah.
What's up with
that?
that?
Oh my dude, he vapes hard.
I know that had to have been cut. I'm sure that was cut.
Coming out of his mouth, like.
I know they're like demonstrating that they're like, I guess
Force users.
Yeah, or something. So they're floating the stuff around.
It was like the Anakin Padme scene from episode 2 where he floats the pear over to her, and it's just so slow.
Yeah, and it's slow
and
and
like,
looks stupid and it's fake.
And so, long story short, they eat and discuss what they're there for, and these two dudes are just like, yeah, okay, we'll help you out. And then they're gonna go walk to it, but then there's 50-foot creatures, so you gotta fly in the air using.
You gotta fly in the Wukong, which is another reference, I guess, if you can even call it a reference. It's just so blatant.
And also, like, maybe I missed something, but these Dragon Balls, like, they're just like, I guess you can. I don't understand how the Dragon Radar knows to find these 7. Is there only 7 on Namek, or is there hundreds?
It looked like there was It looked like on the radar that there was like more than 7.
Yeah, well, because they're talking like it's their Dragon Balls, and it's like clearly not. Those are gone. So they're trying to find new Dragon Balls, and I thought that Namek was like, they can make them for you, and it'll have a fresh set of 7, but they're just looking for them as if they would on Earth. Like, whose Dragon Balls are these? Are these another 7 that sit on Namek, or is this planet just filled with balls that you can pick up and be like, oh, this one's number 2? Like,
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't think about it very hard. Because this is...
I was just so confused because, like, I was like, did I miss something? Like, are these...
You did not miss something. It's just bad.
And so they go searching for the Dragon Balls, and we get a quick cutaway to Vegeta and his Darth Vader
Same
back
thing,
to tank.
right?
Yeah, they're basically saying how he's on life support and it's bad.
Dude, I actually really like the shots of him like, healing and
freaking yoked.
Yeah, dude,
it's incredible.
It's so sick.
Yeah,
and
then from there they.
God, what about when they were in the river?
Oh my God!
And
yeah, but before we get to that,
okay, go.
Wait, no, did we do that first, or was that the dinosaur? No, they go in the river first. Yeah, so they're like they're first Dragon Ball's in the river.
Right, and then he's like, what did he say? And the guy responded, "Yep."
I don't remember, but it was so weird. Bad.
It was like the word. Yep.
We both like laughed out loud at that.
I literally could not help but laugh because it was so stupid.
And so they're diving underwater to find this ball, but like, they can't hold their breath long enough. But
and then the guy finds it.
The Nameks can, I guess, and that's a weird explanation. Like they just like, I can't hold my breath long enough. Where'd the Namek go? Oh, he better have not stolen it. And then he pops up and he's got it, and he's being creepy.
And God, I can't stress enough how bad it looks. Yeah. It literally looks like they were like, we need you guys to get an episode out now.
It's like low frame too. Like it's like all choppy and stuff.
It was a couple times, and the color was just like rose art colors.
This was like filler. Like
this was we are out of money.
The filler team was too busy making filler around this episode, so they hired like some street fillers to like
the D team.
Yeah, like
hey, have you ever? You can probably work on this. Just some dude out.
You know how to use
street.
a pencil? So they find the Dragon Ball in the water, and then the next one is they find it's the dinosaur.
There's probably another one that we're skipping. Honestly, ancient ruins.
Oh, that's right. They go into the tomb.
Yeah,
and there's like the ancient. There's a
terrible
she grabs
drawing from the skull. Thing.
Yeah, and then it's like
and she goes Dude, the amount of times that Bulma has screamed in these like 2 episodes, and it's the same stupid scream. So yeah, she grabs it out of the thing, I guess.
Then they go find this dinosaur that has it.
So I guess they have the same dinosaurs that Earth has in this show.
The asshole dinosaur this guy is. He
had it, and he was just like,
and he looks at him and he says, "Eat,
go."
And then they're like, "Oh no."
Yeah. So then he runs away and they roar, and then Raiti is just like, "No, you can't go over there."
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay.
And he grabs Bulma when she tries to run by, and then he's like, let's fly over there. And oh my God, dude, would you believe it?
And she accuses him of wanting to steal the Dragon Balls.
And guess what? They fly over, and guess what happens, dude? The freaking dinosaur died. And that's what he was protecting them from. What a good guy. What a good Namek.
Honestly, Raiti is his character arc in Dragon Ball Z unmatched.
Because he went from like worst doctor on the planet to a good guy. Just helping people out.
Yeah.
I mean, Breaking Bad has got nothing.
No.
On this show.
Breaking Bad, more like Breaking sucks ass. That show is awful.
And so
Gohan has to. Yeah, he says, "I'll go into the poisonous."
Using your guys' suits
lake.
that last 20 seconds in the mysterious swamp that deteriorates.
What is Imagine watching this and wasting 20 so far, but eventually 40 minutes of your life on this. Like, why? Why? I just don't know why they made any of these decisions.
Had to watch this after it was done, just before he sends it off.
He didn't watch anything.
Well, somebody watched it and was like,
"Yeah, that's fine."
They were either sick or they were like, yeah, send it off. That's gonna have to do." Knowing exactly what they were doing, which is creating
garbage.
My least favorite episode so far.
Oh, for sure. It's mine.
It's so bad.
Really, it is. It's worse than any of the Gohan stuff.
And so Gohan goes under the swamp, the bad acid swamp.
It's like acid basically.
And he gets the Dragon Ball, but the rope has deteriorated, so he can't get pulled up. And then so he's like, okay, I'm gonna swim up. And we hear, I guess it switches to inner monologue or something, because we hear him, but he's not moving his mouth.
That just means he's thinking it. Yes.
Yeah, but I imagine the animators just didn't feel like giving him words because it was odd.
Could be.
And then he gets high enough and he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make it." So I don't even know what move it was, but he shoots something.
It was. Oh no, I got it. It was flashing attack. Because
so,
we all know his iconic move, flashing attack.
Flashing attack.
It's my favorite.
It's HM. That's an HM right there.
Yeah, flash.
So he uses it to boost himself up, and then he comes up, and the team's like, "Yeah."
I literally wrote, "This feels like a Dragon Ball Z fever dream." Like, what? It's just so weird, man. It's strange.
Yeah.
The decisions they made. It had to have been I don't know about a strike or they ran out of budget for a month or what. But
again, right off the bat with this saga, they go right to filler. Same thing with we got 7 episodes.
Because it's easier to do filler, I guess, in between major plot arcs. But it's
just take. I guess back then it's a Wild West, but yeah, just take an extra 2 months or 3 months before you put out the show. Well, this is
the last significant group of filler episodes in the entire series, basically.
Thank God.
There is. I have them written down. There's
We've definitely gone through 20 episodes of filler already or something.
There's one more way down the road that's 9 episodes in a row. No. And other than that, it's nothing.
Just one-offs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
But that's gonna suck.
Yeah, that is
9 in a row. I don't even know what. No.
Really?
And looking at the episode placement, I know what this is right after and also right before. Oh, you know what? I actually do know what
is it. Goku learning to drive? The infamous filler that people seem to like.
No, that is not it. I don't remember when that is actually.
So this episode ends after he catches the ball, right? Or he gets the ball and he regroups with Taika Waititi and everybody else.
Yes.
Just bad, just all around bad.
Yep.
And it doesn't end there, folks.
Oh, it gets worse. I think it was worse.
Episode 42?
Yeah.
It had 2 minutes of saving grace, so I actually did
Goku's
stuff. Only because it was cool to see him back up. Whereas episode 41 I would not watch a single second of that episode ever again.
If I could destroy the episode from existence, and there's just no episode 41 of Dragon Ball Z, of course.
Guess what it would do to the series and the character arcs and the story and the progression of the plot?
Affect it majorly?
Yeah.
Okay, so the search continues. I was so checked out at this point that I didn't even write down the title in my book.
It starts with another scene of Vegeta in the Bacta tank, and it has some really cool music. I wrote down dope music here.
I didn't even notice.
I actually did like the music, but it's just the same thing, where everyone's working
cool
on
shot
him.
Of him.
Yeah, he's yacked.
And
then I don't even know how we got here, but my next note was Gohan and Krillin deadass fighting a tornado.
That is the next thing. There's a Dragon Ball in the tornado. And so, we get the same animation of him doing Destructo Disc.
At the tornado, as if
they're going to slice a tornado in half. And then Gohan puts on his brave face and flies. See, this is where I fell asleep for literally probably 5 to 10 seconds. But Gohan flies into the tornado and grabs the ball.
Yeah.
It's a waste of my time.
Okay, cool, we got it. And then I don't even... My next note was giant birds taking them to Disney World. I don't know how we got here. Because I checked out so hard that all of a sudden I look up at the screen and they're on the backs of giant birds.
They were in a forest, but then the forest was made of birds.
Oh. Oh.
Yes. So we see Goku. He sneaks out of the hospital. They fight a tornado.
The sneaking out of the hospital scene, pretty bad.
Yeah.
The one where Goku's like, it takes 45 seconds to go down 2 steps, and they just keep shooting back to like his view, and all they're doing with the frame is just going. So it looks like he's stepping, and I was like,
and they've been doing this thing lately where when it's a stupid scene like that, the music is like,
yeah, it's like the American animators, because we're watching the American music version. They were like, let's just go all in with this.
Let's make it even worse.
So the birds take
they
them
were
to
on the
Disney
birds.
World.
They're flying on the birds, but then it cuts back to Goku at that point.
Yeah.
And this is kind of cool. It's Goku struggling with his weakness and his frustration. Yeah, at frustration at not being able to beat Vegeta. I'm assuming like by himself, and
he takes off all his bandages, and he's like, I got to do this.
And he's still in pain. Clearly, he's not at his peak. Slips, and then and he knows he won't be able to defeat Vegeta at his current state, not even close. Especially, it's crazy. We know now that Vegeta is fully healed at the end of this episode, and Goku is not even close to fully healed.
I forgot to mention it at the first episode when Vegeta arrives back to wherever that planet is. So it took them a year, I assume, to get to Earth from that place, and he got back to it in like 3-4 days, maybe, however long it's been since the fight.
Well, we don't necessarily know that he's coming from the
That's
same
true.
place.
I guess that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see then.
I'm
on to you, Dragon Ball
yeah, my assumption. No, because remember, well, I guess we don't know where he was coming from originally, but yeah, okay. Anyways, God, yeah.
So the birds fly them up to
the birds are trying to eat them while they're on the other bird.
Yeah, which is, that's normal.
And we get this like weird dream-like Jack and the Beanstalk. It's supposed to be weird and dream-like, I think, because after this he looks back and it's like, did you notice that it was like not actually there, basically? Yeah. So yeah, they like straight up try to kill this giant.
Yeah, and
he's like, just in his own home. First off,
just sleeping. He's literally just sleeping, wearing his earring that he thinks is cool.
Yeah. And
his earring is the Dragon Ball, so they yank it off.
Yeah.
And then they get it.
Then they find a toy plane on the shelf, but it's big because it's. So they get in the toy plane and they fly away.
Yeah, I forgot that it was even a toy plane. I hate that.
Oh, it looked like I was assuming.
No, I think it was. It definitely was. I just forgot that was. They were.
You've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Logic. How about plane on a shelf?
Window pane.
So. That's really it.
I wrote that the dialogue in this entire episode was just out of place. Like, it seemed like these people, like, it was weird. Like, none of it fit the characters saying it, except for Goku's stuff. I didn't write any specific instances, but the whole time I was like, man, this is not Dragon Ball Z dialogue. I don't know why this is coming off this way.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bulma goes, the oil pressure gauge on this thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. There is no such thing as an oil pressure gauge.
I don't think
there's no such thing as oil pressure.
Unless they can somehow be like, well, we're on an alien planet and pressure's different,
maybe
so we have to have pressurized oil or something.
Maybe planes have oil pressure, but I'm pretty certain that no mechanical vehicles have oil pressure gauges. And Jack and the Beanstalk is they're flying away. They look behind them, and it's Krillin notices that it wasn't actually there.
Ooh.
And then he looks again, and it was there. And then the Namekian is like,
It's like the Chimeco Island from Pokemon in the Hoenn region. That's what it is. Probably inspired by.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, there's an island in the Hoenn Pokemon games that's only there like sometimes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's not called that.
I know. I don't know what it's called, but Chimeco's there. Mirage Island.
Chimeco. Oh, I was like, what is Trimeco? Okay. No, it might be. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I know what you're talking about, actually. Yeah.
Mirage Island, I think, is what it's called.
It is Mirage Island. Yeah. Okay.
That aside, that's how terrible this episode is that we're talking about Brandon's least favorite Pokemon games.
Is it no, Sun and Moon are my least favorites.
That's fair, true.
But besides them, yeah. All right, so let me hear some scores. Unless you got something else to add.
Yeah, I was just gonna say at the end, Vegeta's tail is gone and it wasn't able to be reconstructed, so he's got like a little butthole nipple on his back.
Yeah, he's got the nub that.
It's gross looking. They made it like extra nasty. It used to be just like a kind of gaping hole, but now it's like a.
It's like a nub.
Nipple.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So episode 40 held captive. I gave a 2 out of 7 because the Frieza stuff. I was like, okay, at least they're giving us something, and that kind of got me excited to hear Frieza's name, even though it sounds like it was BS.
Well, it's interesting, that we're starting to hear that name that is extremely famous.
Yeah,
at least.
exactly. What'd you give it?
Oh yeah, 2 out of 7. I don't know why
Confused
actually.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't remember this. Maybe I just didn't hate it. There was times like in this episode where I was like, this could have been okay.
It had cool animation and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe that's why. That was what my heart said was 2 out of 7. So we're gonna go with it.
Episode 41, Look Out Below, I gave my first ever 1 out of 7 stars.
Is it your first?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this last week?
I would retrospectively make some of them 1 out of 7, but like from the get-go, I decided that this was a 1 out of 7. I would give it a 0 out of 7 if we were even doing that.
I don't think we do that. There's no 0-star.
So I gave it a 1 out of 7. It's the worst episode I've seen in Dragon Ball Z.
41 is worse than 42.
I think so, yeah. But I mean, they're both
bad.
You
might be right.
I only gave 42 some edge because of Goku back out in training and stuff, and I was like, okay, they're giving me something to work with.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. I gave 42, 41 and 42 both got it at 1 out of 7.
Boom, I gave 42 a 2 out of 7. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, I would never watch these episodes again.
You gave it a 2 out of 7 because of the 45 seconds of Goku that we got.
It just felt, I was like,
that tells you the main character is like the main draw.
My 1 out of 7 is like bad, and I was like, okay. Well, I mean, they're the bottom line, scores aside, is that these 3 episodes were shite.
Yes. Just
absolute shit. Bad.
Yeah.
Never watching them again.
No. I probably won't ever watch those episodes again.
This is the last time.
It really actually might be the last time. Unless I'm like 10 years from now showing my son Dragon Ball Z.
Like, look what we had to sit through.
And it's like, you may be 5 years old, but you're sitting through this shit and you're watching it. You're going to love it.
They might love it too.
If you're 5 years
old.
I honestly, me at 5 years old, I still don't think I would like this. I don't think any child would like watching that.
Yeah.
And imagine, man, like, you're so excited. Like, you get home from school, you wake up early on Saturday to watch Dragon Ball Z after the Goku versus Vegeta fight in all of its incredibleness. And it's this.
And then you're like, well, next week will be better.
Oh,
surely we won't get a bad week.
Next
and then
week
it's like,
is worse.
No, it's bad. And then the next week is worse. And it's like, your mom's like trying to console you. She's buying you McDonald's Happy Meals because you just can't stop crying. It's terrible.
Yeah, so I won't tell you how many more episodes of filler. In retrospect, I regretted telling you that these episodes were filler.
I probably would have been able to guess, I think.
I think you would have. Just because I wanted you to think while watching that the Vegeta stuff was actually happening, because it was. But, I mean, regardless, yeah.
Take us away.
Okay, yeah, I will go ahead and end this for us. Is this really Namek? Are we watching a good show?
No, I don't think so right now.
Where will we go next? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Speak. Okay, I went a little too hard with that. I breathed in
Big
too
breath
fast.
energy.
Yeah. BBE.
BBE.